Welcome, and thank you for joining us today to talk about why enterprises are moving from Oracle to Postgres. My name is Saurabh Modi. I'm a principal PM at Microsoft supporting Postgres in Azure. And joining me today is Shyam Pichai from Chevron, where Shyam is program manager for enterprise content management. Now, Shyam and his team has recently successfully completed an MVP where they took an application running on-premise on Oracle and now are running that same application in Azure database for Postgres, which is a managed offering. And I felt this would be a great opportunity for us to learn from Shyam regarding the motivations why Chevron is looking at moving into the cloud, and more importantly, moving away from Oracle and adopting Postgres. But before we get into that, quick raise of hands. How many here use Postgres today? Okay, and how many have heard of Postgres? Okay, all right, so this is a good opportunity. But that said, so Shyam, why don't you tell us a little bit about the work you do at Chevron?
Thanks, Saurabh, and thanks for having me here. Are you able to hear me? Perfect. All right, so I'm Shyam Pichai. Thank you, Saurabh. So I'm the manager, product manager within Chevron. My team handles what we call is the content management platform for mission-critical applications and documents and things like that. And one of the platform in the example that we are going to share today is Documentum. So my team manages with respect to bringing in and deploying and serving 3D content or 2D content or drawings or anything with respect to storing, retrieving, finding, and collaborating on it. So that's what I do in Chevron.
All right. So recently I read a report from Gartner where it said by 2022, 75% of databases will be deployed in cloud or migrated to a cloud platform. So let's talk a little bit about your specific use case. I know Chevron has Documentum running on-premise on Oracle. And Documentum is a critical application for Chevron as they store highly confidential information in Documentum. So Shyam, talk to us a little bit about why the move to the cloud, where you are going from on-prem deployment to cloud, and then also why the move from Oracle to Postgres.
Why cloud? Everyone is moving to cloud. With all seriousness, Chevron is an oil and gas company, right? So for us, from an IT standpoint, our key thing is to enable the business with respect to the things that we store in our repositories or information compared to doing patches, doing upgrades, and all the other things that we are doing day to day. So most of my team was spending almost 80% of their time doing these patches and things like that, comparing to enabling the business to how to get the data out and how to do some data science, artificial intelligence, and things like that. So a year before, where we were with this platform was we were all 100% VM, and we were running with Oracle, and everything was on-prem. Where we are today is we completely modernized the platform. Thanks to Microsoft, we worked with them and also our vendor for Documentum, which is OpenText, and completely containerized the platform from end to end. So from traditional VM, we went all the way to Azure Kubernetes services, where we containerized the entire application stack. And also during the journey, we took that and deployed with Postgres SQL.
Okay. And I'm sure you've heard this in the past. There is high compatibility between Postgres PL/PG SQL and Oracle's PL SQL. Now, other than that, what made Chevron and your team specifically gravitate towards Postgres?
So one thing is, luckily we had a vendor who was supporting Postgres. That's number one. Number two is always we ask the developers of the vendors, right? For example, when I talk to the developers within OpenText, what they say is, what do you use to test your application? The first thing that they say is, I use Postgres. What do you use for your application server? They say they use Tomcat. So why can't we just run our application? Because the developers are the ones who are building it, everything using those databases. That's number one. And number two is taking the, if I need to ask for an Oracle instance, I need to go through my DBAs and whatnot, and it takes from 1 to 2 weeks even to get a development instance up and running. Whereas if I want to go to Postgres, it's a simple GitHub download or something and just do a Helm install. I have it up and running in 7 seconds.
Okay. Now, greater than 40% of CIOs have open source as a primary software strategy. Tell us a little bit about what was your management's reaction? Were they supportive? Did you face any restrictions? Because everyone wants to move from Oracle to an open source platform, specifically Postgres, but not, generally speaking, management has restrictions, or they are concerned about such a move. Specifically when you're talking about a critical application, in your case, Documentum.
Yep. So luckily in Chevron, right, management is very supportive of innovation. So they support innovation from end to end. As long as we don't go and tell them, hey, I'm going to innovate something, I need $1 million. That's when we have some heartburns. But if you're telling them we are innovating for a better modernized platform like what we did, and also we are innovating where we are going to reduce the cost of the enterprise, we are going to bring down the VM footprint from 180 servers to 3 servers that runs the entire application globally, then, and also we have the security. Everything is compliant with respect to security. The data is secure, the files are secure, and all those things. Why would management even say anything? They are like, go for it.
Okay, good. So quickly, show of hands, who has thought about migrating from Oracle? Has anyone done it in the audience? Okay, good. So what advice would you give them, since you've been through the process, you're going to continue going down this path, you're going to continue the process, I'm sure there's been a lot of learnings through this. What advice would you have for the audience here?
Yeah, so the advice is, again, when we started very small. We did not know what the heck we were doing initially, but as we progressed, we figured it out. And there are several tools out there in the open source market, like Aura2PG and all those things. But where we thought it was very beneficial is like what Saurabh alluded to earlier, is we did a simple POC of taking an Oracle on-prem instance and migrating to the cloud, where we took an actual production instance and migrated to another environment with like a 4-day hackathon working with Microsoft, where we were able to completely migrate all the data, all the files from Oracle to Postgres. So from a learning standpoint, I would say, number one, if you are running your custom applications, that's pretty seamless. You can do it. Just do it. If you're running a vendor-based application, make sure that the vendor supports Postgres.
What about the migration?
From a migration standpoint, it is the key learning point for us is when you, since it's a mission-critical application in our scenario, what we had to do is we have to make sure that both the instances are up and running. So that's where we used the DMS, where we had the new instance, which is in Postgres, up and running, the old instance in Oracle, which still users were using, and we took a small downtime to flip the switch.
Okay. Well, let me walk you through what Shyam is talking about. So in Azure, there is a service available called Database Migration Services. It can be used for both homogeneous or heterogeneous migrations. And essentially, in a very simple example, how this works is you do an initial load, whether it's Oracle or it's Postgres on-prem, you do the initial load to your source, to your target database. In this case, it's Azure Database for Postgres. And once the initial load is done, you continue replicating new transactions until the data catches up. And once you feel comfortable with the replication lag being very low, your application goes into maintenance mode. You stop new traffic coming into your application. You can put that in the maintenance mode, which would require a brief downtime. You finish your migration by doing your last batch upload, and you change the connection string to point to your target database, in this case, Azure Database for Postgres, and you're back online. So this is a service which is part of Azure. It's called Database Migration Services. So quickly, just to summarize a few points that you heard from Shyam, Postgres is more popular today than ever. In 2018, DB Engines ranked Postgres as the database management system of the year. And just this year, Stack Overflow did a survey with the developers where developers ranked Postgres as the most wanted and loved database. And there's a reason why Postgres is picking up popularity. First and foremost, its rich feature set. The ability to store multiple data types in the same data store, and the ability to have rich indexing options. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, the high compatibility between Postgres' PL/PG SQL and Oracle's PL SQL makes the application migration a lot less riskier. Secondly, it's not new. It's been in the industry for over 2 decades, and it's known and has a rich history of being stable, reliable, and resilient. And lastly, not least, it's open source, which means it's backed by a large developer community. The total cost of ownership is low since it's zero cost. It's open source. And as part of that, you can extend the functionality of Postgres by leveraging extensions. Today, there are over 500 extensions available on Postgres. And what that enables you to do is extend the functionality of Postgres without changing the core engine. In Azure, there are 2 options for you to leverage Postgres. One is the single server option, which is your vanilla version of Postgres. And the second, which we announced GA on Monday, is the hyperscale Citus deployment option. And this is essentially the acquisition Microsoft made at the beginning of this year called Citus Data. That product functionality is now built into this product called Hyperscale Citus, which essentially transforms your single node Postgres into a distributed database, distributed Postgres. And in Azure, we are 100% committed on using community editions. So we don't fork anything. We are committed on using the community editions available. So it's even easier for you to migrate your applications into Azure because your applications are just going to work the way they do for you on-prem. Now, we also have a monthly technical newsletter where you get access to engineering blogs about Postgres, about hyperscale, and about Azure. I'm sorry. So this is, like I said, monthly newsletter, technical newsletter where you get access to engineering blogs on Postgres, hyperscale. It wants me to go here. So we do have time for questions, and also Shyam is going to be available in our booth, which is right behind you, if you have any further questions for Shyam. Any questions that we can help answer today?
What is the size of your database and workload? Can you?
So that's a good question. Glad you asked that. So from the size standpoint, we are looking at around roughly around 30 terabytes of data from Oracle that we are planning to, or in the process of migrating, and by sometime next year we would have been completed this migration. It's around 30 terabytes.
I mean, is it one instance, 30 tera, or several?
Several instances.
So, one instance, what is the size, approximately?
The maximum size is 4 terabytes, one of our instances, and it ranges from 4 terabytes to some instances are just gigabytes.
And what about performance when you migrate to Postgres?
Thank you for asking that. The performance, so it's a combination of different things. Since we containerized all the platforms and also migrated to Postgres, we did not do a benchmark testing like with Postgres, with containerized, with VM, with Postgres, and all those things. But end to end, from where we were to where we are seeing at least 2 to 3 times performance improvements. Again, I don't know if it's related to Postgres or anything, but overall the platform performance has increased significantly.
Last question to Microsoft.
Sure.
Do you guys recommend and have a tool set to migrate SQL Server to Postgres?
SQL Server to Postgres as part of the database migration service?
For example.
To be honest, I'll have to check. That's a great question.
If I have an application that cannot afford to be down, is there a way for me to migrate using DMS so both stay up?
From Oracle or?
Yeah. Yeah, so if the source Oracle cannot be shut down, how do I migrate to Azure Postgres?
Sean, do you want to take that? How was your experience with?
So our experience is we did not get it down at all, but if you're looking at, if your application is static for some period of time, if it is, well, the best way to say is, if it's not heavily transactional based application, which ours is not, where we can have like a 1 or 2 minute window where we can bring this down and bring this up. That's what we did, but I did not test that scenario where both the instances are available at the same time. Theoretically, they are. Actually, practically, they are available at the same time because when we start migrating the data, what we do is we create a clone schema of the Postgres with the documentum application, and we start migrating all the tables. At any point of time, both the applications are up and running. It's just during the delta of 1 or 2 minutes where we need to shut this down and move the delta and bring this online.
And I have a question for DMS technology. To do change data capture, what exactly is the technology that DMS is using?
Yeah, so it's built into the platform. If you don't mind, I can pick that up offline with you.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
It's part of the tooling that we've built.
I have a question about the costs. So in the beginning, I assume you were paying licensing for Oracle, right?
Yep.
And now you pay only compute and storage for Azure. What are
There's-
the cost savings overall? And how do you predict those cost savings going into the future?
So that's a great question. From a cost perspective, just comparing the Oracle licenses cost compared to what we are doing with Postgres. Postgres is one instance actually, and just having a replica mirroring that instance. So literally, I'm running my entire suite with 2 instances of Postgres. Compared to Oracle, it's per database instance cost. So I cannot share the numbers with you, but the cost is almost like 10 to 100%.
And I can actually chime in on that. So you essentially have 2 flavors now in Oracle, right? One is you can use the cloud, which is their subscription service, or you do the legacy process, which is get perpetual licenses and you pay the support maintenance fee every year. We've done the analysis. Even the cheapest option, if you're running Oracle Enterprise Edition in the cloud with bare minimum options, right? Like maybe you don't have partitioning, you just use tuning and diagnostics. That setup at the lowest level is 5 times more expensive than Azure Database for Postgres. All right, perfect. Look, I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much. If anyone else has more questions, we'll be in that booth or we'll be here for the next few minutes. Thank you.